All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to number 10, rather the 10th episode of the ReadMe podcast. I'm back in the, what do we call this seat? Is this like the commentator seat or the shoutcaster seat? What do you call it?
I
Right,
really
I'm
don't know.
back in
Let's
the
just
seat
call
with
it the seat,
Bhanuka.
so this makes it a lot
I'm
easier.
back in the seat with Bhanuka, who basically did the last episode on his own. So this time he's pointed out that I have to do my fair share of the talking.
So yeah, you'd actually have to give a little briefing on the the travel bloggers conference and what it is and what it's about and stuff like that, so people have an idea.
Oh yeah. So Cinnamon Hotels recently held the Travel Bloggers Conference Asia, which is basically the first proper travel bloggers conference ever held in this region.
Isn't it the only travel bloggers conference ever held in this region?
Yeah, as of the moment, it's also the only professional conference. So what they did was they brought together some of the world's best travel bloggers and put them on tour. By them, I mean us, because I was also on that.
They brought
tour.
together some of the world's best travel bloggers and Yudhanja.
What the hell? Alright, basically they sent us on tour around Sri Lanka and also obviously to various hotels that they own. And the idea is to, have people enjoy themselves, show them Sri Lanka, have them create a sort of tidal wave of content around Sri Lanka and around the stuff that you can do in Sri Lanka, which I think it worked. This whole thing ended at a conference where we had some really top-notch speakers. Now, I don't say this often, and I rarely call an event good because by and large we go to a lot of tech events and I'm almost universally disappointed by each and every one. They have shit speakers as a whole. But TBC Asia had some brilliant speakers. The ticket was 17,500 or so. And trust me, I would have paid 17,500 for those speakers.
They must have been good speakers. Were they like Yamaha or...
Well, yeah, they were definitely better than Sennheiser.
They're pretty expensive speakers as well. I mean, right? 17,500. You can get a good pair of Logitech speakers.
I know, right? Advertisement much.
This message is brought to you by Logitech.
Well, not really.
Yeah,
They're not paying us. Pay us, Logitech. All right. So, Singers launched the Xperia Z3. It's how do I put this? It's not that much of an improvement over the Z2, but it is a sexy phone. Perhaps
but
the
it's
best
expensive.
smartphone that Sony has.
It's really expensive though.
Yeah, it's like 114,000. So we went around Liberty Plaza and Majestic City, and you can get that for slightly under 90,000 bucks.
Wait. What? You went to Liberty Plaza? Do people go to Liberty Plaza?
Apparently, I'm the only one.
Yeah, I figured.
There was me and there was a guy who works at the Pizza Hut. But anyway, I went there, and those seedy little shops that they have?
I've never been to Liberty Plaza.
So basically, they have a lot of phone shops, and these phone shops have this thing for around the 85,000 to 90,000 mark, which I think is really, really reasonable. It's got one of the best cameras ever put. Like
80,000,
really good phone.
okay, that meh, right? But
Yeah.
114,000.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it. I would rather go for the Z3 Compact, the small version, the sub 5-inch screen version, which is a very good phone in its own right.
I would probably just get a Nokia 1100 Master phone. It's like epic.
Okay. Actually, hold on. Wait, I'm just looking up the specs right now. Bro, get this. So the Z3 Compact is facing off against the iPhone 6 and the what do you call that thing? The Samsung Galaxy Alpha in GSM Arena's roundup. That's an interesting position.
Is it? So this is Sony's flagship.
Yeah, it is. It's
right.
Pretty good. But the cool thing, while I was on the TBC Asia tour, there was a blogger there who had an iPhone 6 Plus. And he was doing video with it. Oh my god, you won't believe the video quality. I didn't believe the video quality, right? I hate Apple, but I have to say that video is amazing. It's flat out amazing. What he did in like Just a little bit of, waving the camera around and a few taps on iMovie was just flat out amazing.
I mean, it
don't-
is, the video is probably a pretty decent one. Did you see the slow motion capture?
Yeah, that's also
That
there,
is what I'm impressed
but
with.
but check this part out. I got to use a Z2,
Okay.
which belonged to a friend of mine. The Z2, I mean, people don't know this, but the Z2 also has a similar functionality very similar to the iMovie, and that also comes in the form of a Sony app. So these phones are really, really going head to head with the iPhone, not in terms of just the hardware, but also in terms of the software.
That's not something you hear every day.
Exactly. So I pretty much like the Z3. I might consider buying one, but well, definitely not at Singer prices. And what was next? Oh yeah. Samsung basically won the iPad contract. You heard that?
No.
No, Apple shifted away from Samsung to TSMC for the processor manufacturing of the
Right.
iPhones and the iPads, right? And you know how the legal battles go.
Yeah.
Turns out TSMC didn't quite deliver. It wasn't really as good as they wanted it to be, and now Samsung has it back. Samsung's profits fell like 60%, and a large part of that loss was due to them losing the Apple contract because, after all, iPhones. So it looks like everybody's back to square one, really.
That's nice. Not really,
And
but yeah.
well, not really, but
Doesn't affect a lot of people.
uh, it doesn't change the price or anything. But well, Samsung, you know, traffic. If you mention Samsung, people come and like this video, so we're gonna talk about them anyway. Okay, Facebook launched a standalone groups app. I think we read this like a day or two ago. And in even better news, a bunch of Russians have hacked
Yes,
thousands of webcams.
yes.
Yes, thousands of webcams all over the world, ladies and gentlemen. And they've set up a website called www.instacam.cc, and they're live streaming footage of people in their homes, gyms, offices, everywhere. You may not want to take my word for this, but if you switch over to the Philippines, you'll see some really interesting shit going on. But anyway,
And if you have a webcam, you may
Yeah, you
want to
might
see
wanna
if
turn that
you
off.
are on the stream. That's actually the first thing I did.
Well, it comes down to certain manufacturers and basically whether or not you've changed your default settings, really. So right
Okay.
now there's like 4,500 feeds from the US alone. That's some interesting stuff there. Google has launched something called Contributor, which I find very interesting. It's kind of like, you know how Reddit has this system where
Yes,
people can
yes.
pay,
Donate.
So what Google Contributor does is it lets readers donate directly to the website.
Well, here's the thing, right? Google released this feature for YouTube
Yeah.
a while back. It's basically a donate button to YouTube channels. I mean, you know how integrated Google and YouTube is when it comes to ads.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
both use
yeah.
AdSense and they both make money in the same way. And this concept was actually introduced by one of our very own people, Jehan R, for the Google strategy team.
Oh, really?
Yes, he developed a system where there's a button where people can, basically a tip jar, if you will, for YouTubers, right?
Okay.
Now, the system is in place and it's live, but it's not available for every channel. At the moment, if you want to apply for it, you need to have around, I think, 100,000 or so subscribers. And you can contact your partner manager and you can basically get that set up. Now,
okay.
what it does is, now there's a lot of controversy behind this, right? Because YouTubers, as it is, the big ones are making big money. If you take PewDiePie or someone, for example, PewDiePie makes at least $15 million a year, which is considered pretty insane amounts of money for someone who plays video games on the internet, right?
Money.
So the controversy is the fact that should you donate more money to bigger YouTubers? I know that. Yes, Yuda, money. Now, they are going to be launching it out to everyone, I guess, later this year. So, basically the Google contributor version is the version of it for websites. It's basically the same thing as the YouTube tip jar, and they just shifted it to the websites. Now, the best part is the whole thing. The only reason that Google's doing this is because, have you heard of a service called Google Wallet?
Yeah.
Google Wallet is something that Google created to be an alternative to PayPal, even though it didn't work out right because the infrastructure that PayPal has already when it comes to eBay and everything is just so overused, right?
unbeatable.
But here's the thing, Google Wallet services are so much better. I would honestly use Google Wallet over PayPal, and I use both. But the issue is, I mean, the Google fees are so much lower than PayPal, and that alone just makes it better. But the issue is the fact that PayPal is already so deep in everything that you can't just remove it from the internet and it will just break the internet. Right? Speaking of break the internet, but yeah, we'll talk about that later, or maybe never. Let's not talk about that.
Never. Let's not talk about that. I mean, seriously, I've got
Yeah.
better stuff to waste my time on. All right, so let's get back to the tech, right?
Yes.
Micromax, the Indian smartphone guys,
Yes.
they're launching a new brand called You.
Wait, what?
I kid you not. It's called You. Why You?
Why you know?
Why you know this? You see what I did there?
Right.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Is it some uber
man.
cheap, something that's what they usually do, right?
No. It's actually a partnership with Cyanogen. They're going to be launching Cyanogen mod-powered Micromax phones.
Okay.
It's actually a premium brand, and they're calling it You. It sounds Chinese. At best it sounds Chinese. At worst, it sounds like noodles, which are also Chinese. There's a lovely Kickstarter up and running. A bunch of guys have come up with something called Megabots. So what they're doing is they're building giant 15-foot robots that you strap yourselves into and play paintball. Each robot will have a pilot and
Wait, is it like a mech thing?
Yeah, it's a mech thing. It's
right. How do I do this? I want to do it right now.
So it's like each robot is like roughly 7 tons.
I don't care. Where do I buy it?
It's on Kickstarter. You have to throw money at them and they'll make it happen.
Wait. Let's just start throwing money on the screen. But that would be really cool, dude.
I know, right? Robot paintball. And check this out. The system's quite advanced. So let's say you take enough hits. Your robot, the computers on board the robot will basically start disabling certain aspects of the robot. You will run slower. You will start to limp. Your
cool.
reload
That's
times will
really
increase.
cool.
Yeah, so it's not just you slugging it away. It's like actual simulated damage. Armor panels on front of it chest will apparently drop off.
And the best part is, if your robot dies in game, you die IRL.
No.
That would have been so cool, though.
No. What are you smoking?
And then you're like, haha, friendly fire. Pew. Oh, whoops, you're dead.
You know what? I'm really glad you're not on the project. Like that you're nowhere near the project. So happy. Oh, have you heard of Meizu?
Meizu?
Yeah. I don't know if you'll remember this, but like back in the day, they released something called the Meizu Mini Player. It was competition to the iPod Nano and the Creative Zen Micro. These guys have come up with a smartphone called the MX4 Pro, right?
Okay.
And get this, looks like an iPhone. It's got a 2K screen, rather a 2K plus screen. That's 2560 into 1536 pixels. Enormous, like phenomenal.
Right.
An octa-core processor. 4G, a 20.7 megapixel camera, and it runs Android. And the asking price is like $400.
But does it bend?
Actually,
It's a bit too old for that, right? We should stop saying that.
yeah.
It might bend.
Yeah.
Right.
This is actually
Dude, $400 is a really good price point.
Connected.
Fail.
La. SLT. SLT!
Fail, man. Fail. I thought you had like epic phone lines or epic data lines or something.
Apparently I do, and I'm paying a lot of money for it. Well, I'm paying a lot of taxpayer money for it. But
I never get this stuff. I'm on the cheapest possible SLT connection.
I guess that's the problem. If you get a premium SLT connection, they treat you like shit. It's like
just shift homes all.
it's like this, right? They can't get you to upgrade it. That's as high as they can go. So they really can't get
so
more money out of you. So yeah, do whatever the hell you want.
To shift. Mad. All right, so where were
we were at the $400 price point, and that it was really good.
Oh yeah, so basically it's a phone with a 2K screen. It's got something like Touch ID on the home button, and apparently that home button's got sapphire glass on it.
Oh,
This
okay.
this is a
Wait,
premium
Sapphire
phone.
Glass was supposed to be on the iPhone 6, right?
Yeah, it was.
And
But
then the
Apple said
company almost went bankrupt,
yeah,
and yes.
there's a long story behind that. Have you read the Wall Street Journal recently?
No.
You should. You should. There's a huge hidden. There's a huge story behind that. What happened to the company? All the back and forth, the ranting, the explosions behind the stage, and all the shit. It was all up there. So this is basically a premium phone, and it's
Right.
$400. And right now, I can almost feel the jealousy from all those people who bought Samsung S5s and things like that,
Okay.
because it's a really good phone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't quite know if it'll ever make it into the international market though. This is still a niche thing. It's trending in China right now, but I doubt most of the world have heard of it yet.
Mm-hmm.
If it does come out, I'm definitely going to get one because that's epic value for money.
Yeah, I mean, $400, right? You can't really complain.
Yeah, and it's a 2K, dude. It's 2K.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
twice the size of what I operate of my monitors at. So there's that. And
But do you really need 2K? I highly doubt you would need.
I'd buy it. I'd buy it just for just for being able to say, just because I can say that it's 2K phone. And
Looks like someone has too much money.
I wish. So it's also got a 3,350 milli whatever that battery thing is.
Milliampere hour, right? Yes.
Milliampere hour, yeah. That's actually quite a lot of battery. That should keep that thing going for a good 24 hours, if not more.
You never know, right? But it's a 2K phone, so it would require a lot more.
Exactly. The GPU draw calls alone would kill the battery, so I think it might just be up to standard in order to keep it running. Like in other news, we've also switched fonts on the ReadMe site.
Yes, because someone didn't like it, I guess.
Yeah, we've gone from Verdana, then I switched it to Roboto, which is what Google uses, and then I got pissed off with that, and I switched to PT Sans, which is a font that you wouldn't know about it, but it's a pretty readable font, right?
Yeah, I like the font.
Yeah, so it's obscure, but it's quite nice, and the site's back to normal and all the stuff. So we're happy.
So in other news, Etisalat launched the App Zone Click. Yuda, can you brief it a bit?
Yeah. Basically, we've all heard about the App Zone, right? It was Sri Lanka's first proper telco API, like proper telco app store / system / for making telco apps, that is SMS based, SMS and USSD based apps. Now the downside to this service was it required that you know the API, it required that you know a lot of stuff on the back end of how code worked and all that. And so it was only ever available to a select set of very small set of developers who firstly knew the API and had the time on their hands to work on this thing. So what Etisalat has done is they've come up with this web interface where you can create an SMS or a USSD based application with minimal hassle. Basically, you log into the website, you click around, and you get the stuff done. And this they launched yesterday at the Etisalat headquarters. And the whole idea that they had was to open the platform up to more people who didn't necessarily have the technical skills to create an app, but who had good ideas and who had good things to put out there. And I think that's a very important move because
that I agree.
Yeah, because overall the Sri Lankan telco app stores aren't great. Most of the applications there are couple chat applications, and there's a few that have always been rehashed on the same thing. You have horoscope applications, quiz applications. It's always the same stuff on a different day. So I think these app stores all could use a lot more fresh blood and a lot more creative individuals stepping in, not just programmers. Not that programmers are not creative, but we need designers, we need people with very creative ideas stepping in and doing the stuff. And this basically opens it up to everyone.
So that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for watching. And as always, my name is Banuka.
Thank you for listening, rather. And I'm Yudandra.
We're both pretty tired.
Yeah, are we though? Yeah,
I am. I don't know about you.
I am. So this is our 10th podcast, and
yes.
we'd like to thank all of you who are listening in, who are tuning in every week. The traffic stats have been pretty constant, so we know it's like you who are tuning
Hey,
in.
you!
And we'd really like to thank you, for sticking with us. And if you have any comments, any suggestions on how we can improve this service, please do let us know. We'll get on it ASAP. Thank you very much. This is the ReadMe team signing off.